Join TWR in 2023. TWR Tweaky Tuesdays.
What is up, team? Chuck with Traders War Room, and I'm back at you with another video. This is your Tweaky Tuesday video, and I got a fantastic one for you. But let's talk a little bit about what happened in the marketplace. Guys, we'll look at the SPY chart, and I just want to go over this because I'm getting a lot of direct messages, and people are asking about the sharp 180 reversal. So let's talk about it real quick before we get into the video.
And basically, when we look at SPY coming into the morning, we kind of got an odd opening, right? Futures were down. We were looking like we're opening lower. We actually opened lower, but then we started to spike up going into the meeting. And then as soon as the meeting started and people got kind of an impression of, Jay Powell's, relaxed demeanor and stuff like this. And this is why I say there's a lot hanging on just sentiment alone, okay? You saw an immediate just rush, right? And he wasn't saying anything really dovish during this meeting. In fact, he was just reconfirming all of the hawkish type of stance, Things are getting better, yes, but they're not good enough. And we're going to continue tightening. He even started talking about if we needed to make tighten restrictions, we would do that. But the data would tell us and things of this nature. But he basically confirmed that they were indeed looking at more tightening and that there was more work to do. And you can see a dramatic shift towards the latter part of the interview, and you see the market just took a dump, right? And then, of course, we hit this bottom, and then we took another just run going into the close, and then we closed even lower. And in fact, we're pointing towards going lower tomorrow. My point with this being is that with these sharp just 180 reversals, if you're in derivatives, these kill premiums, right? Also, these are typical traps, like right here, boom, okay? This is a typical bull trap because say you don't have any day trades and you're just riding momentum, right? All of a sudden, you're like, yes, boom, I'm in, fear of missing out, all this stuff, right? And then all of a sudden just reverses on you. This is about the point where your stop loss usually kicks in, and then you start kicking yourself in the butt because all of a sudden, if you would have just held on for a little bit longer, it would have reversed and you may have been able to average down and make some money. In fact, make more money back towards the end of the close. But again, here's another trap too, because here's a bear trap catching you on this decline and in a sharp reversal again, where your stop loss might come in as well, kicking you out of this. So I saw a lot of direct messages talking about they had a terrible day today because they rode calls and they got stop lossed out on this huge dump here, and then they went and reversed the puts, but they got stopped out on the run into the end of close, and so they ended up down badly on the day, and they were asking for some guidance. So I wanted to put this in the video so I can show you guys what exactly happens in chop markets like this, where you got these dramatic 180 reversals are hard to navigate because even the indicators aren't pointing towards the pushes in one way or the other. This is completely driven on just emotional trading and based off of pure sentiment, and there's really no technical analysis or indicators that were giving you the clue on what direction the market was going. So you were just following blindly and riding momentum and volume, and that was the only indicators today for this particular market. So I want you guys to be aware of this type of trading so that you can be ready next time you see some stuff like this.
And basically, you can't plan for these emotional responses, all right? You can tell by the price action that it's all drove just based on sentiment and basically hanging on to words. You can definitely tell where the momentum started picking up. You can see where it decreased. And then while people were digesting it and they wanted to close out the day strong, you can see the rush. And I hope you get a lot out of this video. I got a fantastic one for you. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And as always, if you're ready, follow me and let's go to work together. Team Traders War Room, baby. Let's get it.
TWR is your one-stop shop. Stay tuned at the end for new upcoming events. How's TWR doing thus far? So the first one I want to bring to your attention is our recent trade on the TWR's $500 to $5,000 challenge. If you guys aren't part of the premium Discord server, you're missing out because we are absolutely killing it. Look at this trade right here that we just closed out for big money. We went ahead and got into Amazon, and right there's the date. We got in at 103 put. 10 February was the expiration. It boomed the next day, so we went ahead and averaged down because we knew that the due diligence was solid on this put play, and we went ahead and got our average cost lower, and then look at how we closed out of it today. 133 to 415, and that's an absolute come up of $282 per contract. Now that's what I call, and you know we're right there helping you guys navigate them choppy waters, man. Look at the trade we did on SPY. We went ahead and got in at SPY at 155. We trimmed on high at 200. We ended up closing complete out at 170 when we started seeing the reversal. At the height, that was $45 per contract and $15 per contract for our runners, man. That's a fantastic trade round trip. $100 to $1,000 per day is possible when you're a TWR market warrior. So quit wasting money. That's not making money. Join TWR. The links are in the description. What's hot and what's not. So the big news that's happening right now is, of course, the State of the Union that President Biden is talking about. He's talking about standing firm on hiking debt limits. He's talking about making things in America. He's also got a lot of ideas that are not being received by both sides of the house. So it's interesting watching this as I'm making this video because I have it going on in the background. Obviously, it pays attention to the market because we're definitely thinking about corporate earnings getting quadruply hiked. We also are interested in the economic funding. We're also interested on how things are going to be taxed and the economy as a whole as far as inflation is concerned. And then we got another story that if you guys were thinking that the rally is just here to stay, you might want to just kind of pump your brakes just a little bit and just be ready for some volatility because the bond market is flashing warning signs that stocks could be headed lower. A lot of people were thinking that we hit the low. I'm one of those skeptics that I think that we did hit a low, but I think we got a little bit lower to go before we actually get into that trough area, before we can see the V-shaped recovery. So I think we got some more downside potential. Enjoy the bull run while it lasts. We ride the momentum, we make money, but we're ready to pivot with our heads on a swivel, ready to attack any way the direction the market goes. And of course, not top news, but noteworthy, eBay to lay off some employees. We could definitely see an increase in the underlying stock. The layoffs have been known to add a bullish tendency to stocks because they give a, basically a bottom line increase. Chipotle stock falls after they miss some earnings. Bed Bath & Beyond, listen, these squeeze stocks are definitely popular, but be careful because they're running out of money. Bankruptcy's just around the corner. And the big one that made the market move, okay? Can Microsoft make Bing cool with ChatGPT? And in case you guys were wondering why the market pushed so hard, artificial intelligence. So definitely paying attention to the buzzwords. We're talking about Microsoft. We're talking about Google. We're talking about Amazon. And there's a lot of other smaller cap stocks that are going to start seeing some trending. So definitely get you educated on it. And if you didn't watch my video on artificial intelligence and robotics, go back through my videos, find that video and watch that one. And actually, I'll put a link here somewhere up here at the top. And look for the video link because it's a fantastic video and I give you some great insight into the next big things in this particular sector. Stocks I like for trades. Here's the earnings. We got some big earnings coming up, and definitely the things in the green boxes have my curiosity. And if I start to see the momentum, I start to see it trending, and I look for an opening and I see it, it'll have my attention. So definitely we're going to go over some of these in the stock chart section here in a moment, but definitely keep an eye on them because these are the movers and shakers that can give you those dramatic pushes going both ways, either to the long side or to the short side. So Uber has me interested. I like Uber as a long-term trade, right? I think right now would be a perfect time to go ahead and get shares, go long, hold it for a few years. It definitely has the market share in its particular sector. But I do think because it ran so hard here recently, it has me thinking that it needs a cool down. So I am actually thinking that earnings are going to come in a little bit light or less than overwhelm and they're going to actually underwhelm. And I think that we pull back a little bit. So the red line is where I'm expecting Uber to go. However, the orange lines are areas where on a good earnings beat and some bullish sentiment and momentum, it could definitely push to the next levels and break out of its current trend where it's at. CVS is tough and it's difficult to go ahead and trade this one. I'm going to give it a 50-50, and I got the top in orange and the bottom in red. But this is all going to depend on COVID sales and their forward guidance. And we haven't seen very stellar earnings from the healthcare sector going into this particular quarter. And I would expect the trend to continue with CVS. So definitely pay attention to CVS. And this would not surprise me if we dip a little bit lower. But I think we would find some strong support down there at the $83 range, because we've been there before and it had a huge range of support previously when we look at this weekly chart. So Yum Brands is another one that's interesting because it's been pretty tight and consolidating within a range between at 131 and at 126. So this earning could be a make or break move for this. Now, if we break out, we could definitely push to 137, maybe even 140 if we get some decent earnings. But specifically these type of brands, these fast food chains, while they're still getting revenue coming in, their forward guidance isn't looking all that stellar. So I believe the forward guidance will be huge on this one. And you can see from that green arrow, it already had a huge rush to the upside. I would not be surprised if we get a cool down period coming out of this consolidation zone to the downside. So I would be looking more to the bear side on this particular earnings report for a little bit of a cool down period. And we could see a push down back into the 120s to test that level of support. Let's look at UAA. I like this. I think this can have a significant push to the upside, okay? I already like UAA anyways. It's Under Armour brand. I think that they got a decent chart that looks like it wants to break out of this area. They had a nice run, but it's looking like it could go another leg up. And I think they could push to $15 range and cover the difference from that huge dump that they had previously. Also, that XFL news and The Rock, that has me bullish on this as well. So I do like this long term. And I also think that this is a good stock to go ahead and get in shares. Shares long, because this could potentially be the next Nike brand, in my opinion. And I'm going to head and wrap this one up with PayPal, okay? 50-50 on earnings. They will give a tell, but I think the forward guidance will be the determining factor on this one. Looking at the chart, we're above that 50-50 line. That looks like we got some bullish momentum. You know, I would like to see us close clearly above the moving averages. However, we'll have to see what happens with the earnings. I think this could actually explode going into earnings, and then of course it'd be risky going through earnings. But it definitely, if we get a little bit more of a bullish push, we could see that jump towards the $90 range, as PayPal has definitely come back off of its lows. But as we saw right there, we had the double bottom. We could easily go back and retest that for that triple bottom just as easily as we've run to the upside. Upcoming TWR classes. And our next class is set, guys, and I want you to go register today at traderswarroom.com/upcoming classes. If you're ready to learn how to day trade reading candles, volume, and momentum, we have a fantastic guest instructor for you. Diesel Trades. If you have not seen this man trade, he is fast, he is quick, and he fills the pockets full with his bank-killing moves, guys. He is an absolute destroyer of the market, and you can get his class on 19 February at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. $25 gets you a seat. It's a 2-hour-long class, and every purchase gets the recording. Register today. You definitely don't want to miss this class, especially if you want to learn how to make some money. Traders War Room Trading University is happy to announce open registration for our next option fundamental course. Did Wall Street make you feel like a complete loser in 2022? Or was everything going great and you blinked just for a split second and got repeatedly kicked in the you-know-what over and over again? TWR is here to help you. Our university's fundamental course is an in-depth 5-week-long course that's done live via Zoom platform. Our virtual classroom is where you can interact with the instructor, other students, or see copies of the classes right there on the platform and rivals that of traditional online education. Testimonials from previous class graduates are proof that our cradle-to-the-grave approach works in giving you consistently profitable skills to trade options. Registration is open today. Links are in the description or go to traderswarroom.com. I will see you there. Let's go to war. Traders War Room is your one-stop shop. Try our TWR one-to-one mentoring. Does the market have you feeling like this? Or wanting to rip your hair out while you watch your account dwindle? If that's you, then Traders War Room has you covered. Our one-to-ones focus on you as a trader or investor. The Zoom session connects you with a TWR professional. Whether we're covering charts, developing a plan of attack, or being strategic and deep diving on the how, why, and execution of trade plans. TWR one-to-ones will give you the confidence to attack, conquer, destroy, and make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. Book your session today. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war. Join the TWR Investment Club. Check out our free chat to learn more. That's it, team. Don't forget, make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war.